Welcome back to FM Story for the run into season 5 of the Glory Hunt Safe season 2 with Man City. Our only aim for the season really was to try and win the Champions League. We're in the quarterfinals, but unfortunately being drawn against Real Madrid. So without further ado, let's see if we can make our way past them. It's time for the second leg of the quarterfinal against Real Madrid. And we've not had much more luck in terms of injuries and suspensions than we did at the end of the last episode. We did really well in the first leg against Real Madrid until the same old problems we've had all season befell us towards the end of the game. Since the end of the last episode, we started with a 1-1 draw away at Bournemouth. We gave away a late equaliser there. Had we won that game, we would have won the title on that day. We then went to the away leg against Real Madrid and took an early lead through an Erling Haaland penalty, and they didn't really create an awful lot of chances for most of the game. And then they got 2 late goals from Mikel Merino and Ousmane Diomande to come away with a 2-1 victory, meaning we've got work to do in the second leg. And then in between the 2 legs, we played a Premier League game at home against Burnley. We picked as much of a rotated team as we could for that game. We came away with 2-1 victors. It means we've wrapped up the league title for the second successive season. So now all attention turns back to the Champions League, this second leg against Real Madrid, to see whether we can make it into the semi-finals. So this is the side we've picked for the second leg. We're still obviously missing players. Matheus Nunes, Oscar Bob, and Xavi Simons are all still out injured, and Jamal Musiala is suspended. So it's going to be a real tough task to come away with a victory in this leg to take us into the semi-final. So they're going with the 4-3-3. We're going with the narrow 4-3-3. And let's hope we can score some goals. Not much has happened early, but now they've got the ball through Camavinga, Marquinhos to Diomande, out to Eder Militao at right back, Arda Güler, who's been outstanding for them in the league this season, Valverde in the box. We've got a challenger, but it's come to Camavinga. And Bernardo Silva's passed it straight to Vinicius Jr., and that could be the Champions League campaign over for another season. Just, what are we doing? Like, Bernardo Silva's got all the time in the world and just picks out Vinicius Jr. perfectly. Right, corner, Bernardo Silva to take it, drills it in. Erling Haaland gets his header on it, and we've hit back pretty quickly to leave the tie where it was at the start of the game. Just in-swing it to the near post, powers the header past Courtois. That's 1-1 on the night, 2-3 on aggregate. And then from the kick-off, they've given the ball away to Haaland. And then he's given the ball away. Diomande at the back for them. We're trying to press them, but they're playing out far too easily. We've got the ball back with Guendouzi, who goes back to Ederson. Gvardiol to Ruben Diaz. Guendouzi helps it on to Silva. Haaland. Foden now running at the defence. Crosses into the box. Haaland gets his head on it. 2-1 on the night. 2 goals in 3 minutes there. 2 minutes there. And levels the tie up on aggregate. We eventually pressed them and got the ball back, and then Foden down the right-hand side and just digs a cross out towards the back post. Haaland gets up above 2 and again powers the header past Courtois. Right, Rico Lewis with the throw. Bernardo Silva loses out there. And then they've gone long over the top. Ruben Diaz cuts it out and finds Alphonso Davies into Curtis Jones. pulls it back for Foden. Gvardiol. Foden loses out with Rodri, out to Rico Lewis. Guendouzi, we're doing well to keep it, we're just not finding that forward pass now. Guendouzi, it's headed up in the air. Jones though gets it, comes back for Haaland when he's hit the woodwork. Rodri finds out, oh, now they're breaking with Arda Güler. And Gvardiol just takes him out. And there we go, half-time, 2-1 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate. And we just need to keep the level of performance we've shown since they took the lead up in the second half. Right, so we sent the same team out to start the second half. They've made one change. They've brought Burma one wide right instead of Arda Güler. Rodri across to Gvardiol. Alphonso Davies gets to the byline, crosses towards the back post. Haaland with a header, and he's hit the woodwork again. Right, Militao goes back to Courtois. Right, Rico Lewis has nicked it off Camavinga there. Foden looks for the run of Guendouzi, but the pass was too strong and goes straight through to Courtois. Right, Militao across to Camavinga. Bacciarina infield to Bellingham, who loses out. Haaland onto Foden, he's in the box. And he puts us ahead on aggregate. Bellingham just dwells on the ball. Rodri nicks it off him. Haaland into Foden, who gets in front of the defender and then just beats the keeper for 3-1, 4-3 on aggregate. Right, Marquinhos with the ball at the back. Neves. Bellingham wide to Bacciarina. Digs a cross out. We've got a head on it, but it comes to Valverde on the edge of the box. Curtis Jones makes a tackle, wins it, keeps the ball in. It goes back to Edison. Ruben Diaz wide to Rico Lewis, and we're bringing the ball clear. Rico Lewis still going down that right-hand side, finds Guendouzi. Curtis Jones on the edge of the area. What a finish. Passes it into the back of the net, and that gives us a 2-goal cushion, 5-3 on aggregate, 4-1 on the night. And this is turning into a great performance. Rico Lewis ran forever. Guendouzi into Curtis Jones, takes a touch, and basically just passes it into the bottom corner from 20 yards. Right, corner, Bernardo Silva to take it, in-swing it towards the back post. Gvardiol gets his head on it. That's 5-1 on the night, 6-3 on aggregate, and that should hopefully be us pretty comfortably through to the semi-final. Just swings it over to the back post. Gvardiol gets up highest and heads home. And there's been a pretty big turnaround in the other quarter-final to decide who we play, because I'm pretty certain that Arsenal won the first leg 3-1, but they're now losing 6-2 against Dortmund. So it looks like it might be Dortmund that we're going to face in the semi-final. Right, so we brought some fresh legs on just to see out the game. They're down to 10 men as well. It looks like Rodrigo had to go off injured into injury time. And there we go, full time. What a performance. 5-1 win in the second leg to win 6-3 on aggregate and to see us through to the semi-final of the Champions League. It's time for the second leg of the Champions League semi-final against Dortmund, and we're 90 minutes away from a Champions League final. Since the second leg of the semi-final, we've pretty much played fully rotated teams in the league. We beat Crystal Palace 4-2, we beat Tottenham 3-0, and in the most recent league game we beat Fulham 3-0 as well. And then the first leg of the semi-final. The first half, neither side had many chances. The second half, we had a lot more chances. It did look like it was going to be one of those games where we just wasted chances and we're going to be made to pay for it in the second leg. They had a player sent off pretty early into the second half, and that helped us to sort of mount the pressure on them. We ended up getting a winner from Erling Haaland in the last minute to give us a 1-0 lead to go into the second leg of the semi-final. The other semi-final is pretty delicately poised as well. A 1-1 draw in the first leg between Chelsea and Benfica to decide who goes through to the final. Obviously, Benfica were the only team that beat us in the league phase, so it would be good if we both got back to the final to try and get a measure of revenge over them. But now it's time for the second leg and time to do a professional job and make sure we get through to the final. And so this is the team we've picked for the second leg of the semi-final. Slowly but surely, we've got almost a full-strength squad available. The only player that's completely out is Matheus Nunes, and Xavi Simons just isn't fit enough to be involved from the start. For them, obviously, they're missing Schlager, who is suspended. Got a suspension in the first leg. They are also missing one of their best players this season, which is TJ McGran, who is on loan from our youth setup, who's scored 12 goals for them in all competitions this season. He's got a torn calf muscle, and unfortunately has missed both legs. And now it's about going out and doing a professional job. They're playing with a 4-3-3. Talis Magno and Bino Gittins were quite dangerous in the first half in the wide positions. So hopefully we can keep them quiet in this game and come away with a good result. Very, very little happening early on in this game. We've had barely any of the ball, but Bernardo Silva with a corner to the back post. Gvardiol looked to get his head on it. It comes to Foden, who smashes against the woodwork, and then it bounces behind for a corner. Bernardo Silva to take again from the right-hand side. Swings it in again towards the far post, and they've managed to get a head on it. Musiala trying to get the ball back in the box, but the cross is blocked. And again, the first half's gone quiet, like it did to start with. Right, a goal kick for them in injury time. Oh, he's given the ball away. Oh. And the keeper makes a great save to keep that out from Foden. And then the corner coming from Bernardo Silva, the outswinger to the near post. It's headed clear as far as Foden. Pulls it back to Bernardo Silva, and again it's turned behind for a corner. And there we go, half-time, 0-0. We've kept them quiet. We've had a couple of chances. We probably should have taken one of them at least, but we're playing pretty well. So hopefully we can keep that up in the second half. We've not made any changes at half-time. Keep the same team out. They've made one in the centre of midfield. Right, Ricolos with a throw. Guendouzi. Back to Ruben Diaz. Rico Lewis. Guendouzi. Down the outside. Crosses. It's flicked clear on as far as Davies, who crosses. Ruben Diaz to Guendouzi. Bernardo goes all the way back to Gvardiol. Into Bernardo Silva in the box. Fires past the keeper. Puts us 1-0 up on the night. 2-0 up on aggregate, and into a really, really strong position with just under 40 minutes left of the game. Gvardiol just drives forward and just slides it into Bernardo Silva. Lovely first touch to get out his feet and just sends the keeper the wrong way with the eyes. Right, free kick to us, Foden to take it. Low to Bernardo Silva, back to Foden, wide to Musiala, into the box. Fires across the keeper, makes it 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate, and that should surely be us in the final. Time to make a couple of substitutions just to bring some fresh legs on to see out the last 10 minutes of the game. Musiala is just allowed to drift into the box and then just passes it across the keeper into the far post. And there we go, full time, 2-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate, and we've got a Champions League final to look forward to. It's Champions League final day in Baku against Chelsea. As you can see, we've had a bit of bad news since the end of the season. So Matheus Nunes was already out with his damaged cruciate ligaments. Musiala's picked up a twisted ankle in the last couple of days in training, so he's going to be out as well. Otherwise, we've got a fully available squad to choose from. We had 2 league games left after the second leg against Dortmund. again, we played pretty much rotated teams for them. We beat Norwich 3-0 at home in the penultimate game, and then came from behind to beat Stoke 3-1 on the last day of the season. What it meant for the league is that we ended up, obviously, as champions. We already had secured that. We ended up 21 points clear at the top of the table, ahead of Chelsea, who we obviously play in this Champions League final. So a success from that point of view. But obviously the whole season has been geared towards this Champions League final. And hopefully we can wrap up the Champions League at the end of season 5. So this is the side we've picked for the Champions League final. The defence, we've got our strongest defence available. With the injury to Musiala, we've gone with Curtis Jones alongside Bernardo Silva. Xavi Simons gets his first start since coming back from injury, alongside Foden behind Haaland. And hopefully we have enough to come out victors in this game, but they've got a pretty strong team. And it's going to be a tough ask. So we're going with that narrow 4-3-3. They're going 4-2-3-1 with Nkunku in behind Gyökeres. Nkunku had the most assists in the Premier League this season, so we need to try and keep him quiet. Lovely ball in by them. It's headed up in the air. It's still alive with Sterling. Back to Reece James. Crosses towards the back post. And that should have been us 1-0 down. There was a free header in the middle of the box. Free kick to Xavi Simons to take it. Low to Rodri. It goes back to Ruben Diaz, who comes forward, finds Xavi Simons on the right. Low cross. Haaland's effort saved, and they get it away. First half's quieting down a touch now. Right, Badiashile with a free kick for them in their own half. To Chilwell. Mudryk into the box. And we've been given a free kick for offside there. And there we go, half-time 0-0. Neither the team's created too many chances. And we need to be a lot better on the ball than we've been. Right, we've sent the same team out to start the second half, but it probably won't be long before we need to make substitutions. Alphonso Davies with a free kick. Goes long looking for Foden, but it goes straight through to the keeper. He then rolls it short to Geertruida. Back to the keeper. That was far too easy the way they've got out there. Chilwell now bringing it forward. Plays it to Mudryk down on the left-hand side. Crosses into the box. Gvardiol got his head on it, and Nkunku goes back to pick it up for them. Reece James forward to Sterling. Over the top for Gyökeres. He's in. He's open to scoring, but we're going to get a VAR check to see whether he's offside or not. I don't think he was. I think he timed it pretty well. And now we've got a lot of work to do. Just didn't close them down enough, and then just a simple ball over the top. Decent first time finish. And big work to do in the second half now. It was pretty close to being offside, but... Right, they're coming forward again. Sterling gives it away though. Bernardo Silva finds Xavi Simons. Curtis Jones flicks it on for Haaland. From the edge of the box. Just couldn't hit the target. From the resultant goal kick, they've gone short. And again, they've got out too easy to Chilwell. Down the line for Mudryk again. Back to Chilwell, into Mudryk in the box. And we are in big trouble here. Two-0 down. We're only less than 10 minutes into the second half, so there's plenty of time, but every time they've gone forward in the second half, they've looked like they're going to score. Right, we switched to the wide 4-3-3. Alphonso Davies with a throw to Xavi Simons. Rodri into Foden. Bernardo goes back to Gvardiol. Ruben Diaz down the line for Bernardo Silva. He loses out and Caicedo comes away with it. Alphonso Davies with a tackle there, but they've still got it. I thought that had gone in then. We let Caicedo go far too far with it. Right, free kick for them. They're going short. The keeper's just chipped it up in the air. Foden nods it down to Xavi Simons, and yet they've come away with it again. And long ball to the back post. Rico Lewis clears. Curtis Jones bringing it clear. Bernardo Silva cutting in into the box. And in the end, that was pretty easy for the keeper. It's going to take something special for us to get anything from this now. Caicedo bringing it forward. We've not got very many players back here at all. Oh, we've been picked off on the break for 3-0. It's been disallowed, but there was only 5 minutes of injury time to play anyway, so we're just about out of time. And there we go, full time. We've lost the Champions League final. We came so far and so close, and then just didn't perform on the day. And there we go, the end of season 5. No more trophies to add to the trophy cabinet, despite coming so near to winning that Champions League. And I think that is probably time for us at Man City. I think it's time to move on. Another season where we just try to battle to win the Champions League when we've got so many other trophies to win in so many other countries. I think it's time to see what else is out there and try and win the Champions League somewhere else. So join us next time to see if we do move on, and if we do move on, where we move on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.